Doesn't actually start. There we go. Yeah, we're still getting the hang of this Skype stuff, as you can all see. My introduction here on the Blue Room. It is Brew number 4. And Adam Sutton joined you today. Adam, thanks very much for getting up. It's 9 o'clock now. It's not that early, but cheers for getting up anyway and joining us on this show. How are you doing?
I'm good. I do have a bit of a confession to make, actually. I was meant to go to sleep early so I could wake up and feel not knackered. But I ended up playing Monopoly on the iPhone until about 3 o'clock this morning with 2 of my mates.
Oh.
And if you haven't played Monopoly on the iPhone, it's unbelievable. And you can like chat with them as well. So yeah, it might be 9 o'clock, but I'm still a bit tired. Like,
that sounds really like brilliant. And I imagine there's loads of people up and down the country who've sort of not going to get up to go to work. You can work from home a little bit. You're working from home at the moment, aren't you?
So I was furloughed from yesterday.
Oh, okay, right.
So
horrible word, that, isn't it? But
yeah.
but
strange, but nothing to get up for. So I thought, why not? And I won as well, actually. So it's bragging rights against the boys at the moment.
Fair enough. But I imagine there's loads of people up and down the country who've been awake till like 3 a.m. watching Netflix, series they tried for the first time. Playing a new game, I've got Call of Duty there, which took about 10 hours to actually load up, but eventually I got to have a go on it last night. But I didn't anticipate many people would be up playing Monopoly on their iPhones till 3 in the morning.
Honestly, best £4 I've ever spent.
What time did you start playing it?
About 11.
So it was a proper. Oh, you nearly set my Alexa off there. I think what you said. But so that's like a proper intense.
Slog like, because my 2 mates, they don't sell any of their houses or whatever easily, like, so it was proper battle to the end. But got over the line, and as soon as the game ended, I just my head at the pillow and I was gone. So it was good, fun.
You ever played the Everton version of Monopoly? They do sell it in shops, don't they?
No, I haven't. I've played a few like different variations, but I've never played the Everton one. To be fair, it's one of those games where you kind of always say you're going to play it and then never end up doing, because it's just so long and it breaks families and friends and all that stuff. So
yeah, you got people like trading real life things to try and buy stuff. Like I'll do the dishes, or you can have me lunch tomorrow to get this thing. Yeah, but I mean, that's sort of what I was going to start out by asking. It's like there's been a lot of, I think people are sort of putting a lot of pressure on themselves. I think I said this on the show early this week, to sort of learn something new or take on something new in regards to learning a new language or try and learn a new skill. Are you sort of doing anything like that at the moment, or are you just sort of plodding along, getting obviously apart from Monopoly?
Yeah, to be fair, since I only stopped working from yesterday, nothing like too like mad from a like learning stuff new perspective, but I've always tried to I've got an app. I'm sure Dave Downey mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. Duolingo, it's called, and you learn like a language on there. So I've been trying to do a bit of Spanish because we were meant to be, and I don't think we will be going to Spain in June. Me and my mates going to a festival, so I wanted to learn a little bit so I could at least get us round. Gym wise, trying to at least stay fit and healthy, going for runs and doing some stuff in the garden. But other than that, yeah, I'm kind of just taking every day as it is at the moment, because they just sort of seem to go so fast, because I wake up late, go to sleep late, and then the days are gone, and it's kind of just living to the next update from whoever and wherever we are. So I'm trying to just stay sane at the moment, and then I might do some form of self advancement when it comes to it.
Yeah, I think I've been trying to keep a bit of a schedule still. I think this is one of the reasons why I've done these videos, trying to get people on in the morning, so you've got something to get up for. My working hours have been cut down as well in regards to my job as well, and I think sort of saying to people, you want to be up by 9 o'clock or 8:30 to do some things. It gives you a bit of time for the rest of the day, but then in the last few days, I sort of got to mid-afternoon and thought, what am I going to do here? I think that's where it starts, because then you start thinking about tea and that sort of stuff. But yeah, there we go. Let's have a chat about your kit. I absolutely love that kit. But we were saying before we started recording, neither of us can actually remember when Everton really wore it.
It's more of it comes across to me as more of a pre-season kit for some reason. I don't know why. Just one of those kits that like they wear once with just numbers and no names on the back, and then you never really see it then because there's not many clubs in the league that we're not going to wear like our home kit or maybe like a darker kit too. So yeah, it's
pre-season game in my head for that one, but I can't think what it is now. Now you mention it.
Is it the Erding one, like the 22-0, or is that a different? You wear blue in that kit in that game?
I think we wore blue in that one. I honestly can't remember, but I think that this kit was the season where I'm pretty sure it was Steve Walsh's. So after the summer of Walsh, if you will, where Sandro came in, and we had to sign Klassen and all that sort of stuff. But I have got a game in my head.
Definitely remember Rooney, Sandro, and Klassen in this kit. Niasse, for some reason, I can remember in this kit. Was it Palace away where Niasse got retrospectively?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
for diving.
Yeah, he wore it then. And the other one I had in my head was Sigurdsson's first goal against Hajduk Split. Did we wear that? I mean, we should.
Was that not the purple and was that not the striped one?
Yeah, it was. You're right, actually. Yeah, it was. But this is the same season, isn't it?
Yeah, it was one of those where we just started the Europa League. What felt in like early May or something like that. But we played like strange games, Hajduk Split, and yeah, I remember the one where was it Baines? It was a Baines penalty away at Palace, and Niasse dived supposedly. First ever to
as well, didn't he?
Yeah, so I think we went 1-0 down and then 1-1 and then 2-1 down and 2-2, and that was all before half time or something. And it typical Everton second half with Selhurst, and it was no goals in the second half. But yeah, it's a pretty unforgettable season actually. So I can't see why the kit wouldn't be unforgettable as well.
But that was, I think, at that time, and I think after that Palace game in particular, because we played Bournemouth, I think before that, and we when Niasse had scored twice to sort of get us that really big win.
Mm-hmm.
We went to, I think Unsworth was in charge by Palace, wasn't he? But I think at that point it was sort of a case of everyone was hanging the hat on Niasse as being this player that's going to score the goals, that's going to get us out of trouble, and they really, really were desperate times, weren't they? Then when you think back about it, and I remember that Palace game in particular because I think they had Loftus-Cheek on one wing, Zaha on the other, and they battered us for long spells of the game, and we came out of that match, and I think it was a Roy Hodgson team who obviously renowned for counter-attack, and they were struggling as well. And they had something like 70% possession against us in that game. And even though we got a draw, and we were all sort of like a point away from home, they were in dire straits at that point.
Yeah, it was one of those like periods of football where like every game, whatever the result, you just always feel like there's just going to be no real consistency here with this side. And as you say, like some of the players that were in and out of the side, and it was like so bit part anyone's like run in that team that it really didn't give us any form of consistency, and it was just a horrible time to be an Evertonian, really. And I think especially with the likes of Steve Walsh coming into the club, we had so much hope. The Mersey billionaires and all this lot, and we thought we were going to buy everyone and win the lot, and then it just turned out to be we bought everyone who was rubbish and ended up, just becoming a side that was sacrificing 70% possession to Crystal Palace away. It was a forgettable season, as we say, and a forgettable kit.
I think about did we wear that in the Leicester game as well, where Vardy and Damari Gray ran us ragged under Unsworth, and we just went a bit. He played like a really bizarre team, midfield. I think we had it on for that as well.
We Chelsea away as well.
Yeah, we definitely had it on.
Played in the middle.
Yeah, I think Sandro played up front and just looked like an absolute fish out of water that day.
I'm pretty sure actually we got beat 2-1 that game, didn't it? I thought it was 2-0. I think Calvert scored at the very end.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, I think you're right.
The best thing about that game was that Beningame tackle. I remember it doing the rounds on Twitter. He crunched someone in the middle of the park.
Yeah. Oh, we played them Chelsea away twice that year, so we wore it twice against them.
Ah, okay.
Because that one was Unsworth's first game in charge, wasn't it? In the League Cup. We were quite unlucky, weren't we? I think we scored for them, and we had some chances to, a lot of chance. Look, we hit the bar with like a great left-footed shot from the edge of the box.
Mm.
And then we wore it again earlier in the season. So we had Stoke to start, didn't we? Where Calvert-Lewin infamously played right wing back. in that game.
Rooney header, was it?
Yeah, and then we had City away, which we drew 1-1, should have won. Rooney again. And then we had Chelsea away that weekend. And that was at the point still where you had a midweek game in the first week of the season. They sort of done away with that, haven't they, in recent years? And then we went there and we lost 2-0. I think Morata scored for Chelsea. And we were just like absolutely abysmal.
Struggling to remember, to be fair. I remember the one in the League Cup, but yeah, anything post that second game, actually, I've tried to block out my mind. So
it was mad that, because I remember coming away from City that night after the second game. We did our post match show, and we had about 5 or 6 of us on it, and everyone was like, "Oh, we've got to be taking these sort of chances at places like that, you know, if we're going to be finishing challenging for top 4 this season." And that was where sort of, the reality of the situation hadn't really hit home yet, that we didn't have Rom anymore, that we didn't really have a striker, and all that sort of thing. And I remember, I'm going to throw him under the bus a little bit here, but Dave in particular was like fuming about it. He was like, "Got to go here and get points." And obviously we went on to be in a relegation battle for long parts of the season, and City went on to set a Premier League record points total for 100 points for the campaign.
That must have been the last time they didn't pick up 3 points for about like 20 games or something, that wasn't it? And then just went on like a mad run. But yeah, it was that pre-season as well, wasn't it? Like we had about 6 or 7 new lads.
Yeah.
None of them realised that they couldn't. Well, they all realised they couldn't play with each other. And I'm sure, I don't know whether we wore the kit at home. Was it like Valencia at home or someone? And I think
that was the Sandros, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was actually, yeah.
Collar on, yeah, it's really smart.
But we just had so many high hopes, didn't we? And just obviously came crashing down very quickly after a couple of games.
Got really brutal after that Chelsea game, because we went to Atlanta, didn't we, and lost 3-0. And Spurs beat us 3-0 at home. That was it. Harry Kane obviously had his way with us. Then we went to United and lost 4-0. So yeah, not the best time of it in general.
I'm not going to wear this again now.
What was that?
I'm not going to wear this kit again now.
But we were talking again. You were saying about the story about how you ended up getting it, which is a pretty funny tale.
Yeah, so it was. To be fair, I haven't actually bought an Everton kit. I usually I think until I was about 18, my mum and dad would get me one for Christmas, and it was obviously the season before we've just spoken about there, or the summer before, and we went to like an Everton season ticket event at Camp and Furnace. And so this kit had just come out, and they were giving it to obviously people who attended. And I remember it was like Peter Reid on stage, you mentioned before, Leighton Baines as well, and everyone was asking questions. And my dad asked a question to Peter Reid about, he played in so many successful Everton sides over the years, but was any of those sides better than Highton Boys? Everyone was laughing their head off, like, and yeah, my dad got his little bit of fame speaking to Peter Reid, and that side. Imagine being part of that, like.
Did Peter Reid have fond memories of it?
So I think he. I can't really remember what he said. I'm pretty sure he said something along the lines of, "They were a very good side, but I'm not sure we would have. I'm not sure that the league would have allowed us nowadays, because there were some horrible fellas playing on that team." And his dad said, "Do you mean the 80s side or Highton Boys?" And he went both.
That's brilliant. Is your dad that type of fella, is he? He'd happily pipe up in those situations and ask players questions.
Yeah. So I think he's always up for asking a question, especially to someone like Peter Reid, who's obviously been a hero of his for years. Like, and he just took the opportunity. I think he held like the microphone like the wrong way round or something. I was laughing my head off at him, but it was it was a really good night, actually.
Oh, it's class that. Just sort of on that era as well. Obviously, one of the Twitter posts you put out yesterday on our social media accounts. If people haven't checked that out yet, sort of referencing a game with Everton. Was it 5-0 in the end against Southampton? 6-0 against Southampton. And Gary Lineker scores a hat trick in it. And he was interacting with it. I think what he quote tweeted it saying before football even existed, I believe. Maybe a bit of a jibe at the Premier League, but watching those highlights, I just love the amount of headers that they scored. Some absolutely unbelievable headers from that team.
I was saying to one of the lads yesterday, it's like the second one. I don't think it's him. I think it's Mountfield that scores. might not, I can't remember who it is, but the second one, and it's just unbelievable. Like throws himself,
Yeah.
and like so the power they get on it and stuff. I don't know whether it's because the balls were, I don't know, a lot heavier than they were, but like you can just see the lads just proper throwing the body at it, and there's nothing better than seeing like a diving header or a towering header at the Gladys Street end, and like the crowd for me is the one that gets me. Like as much as obviously it was dangerous and like, we couldn't do it nowadays. Like just I'd love to have been in one of those swirls where they're just all going forward and back and it's just mad. But yeah, it's good finding those gems online and getting them out to the masses on Twitter.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about the crowd. I love watching them as well. It's you just wonder how, obviously never, same sorts of era, never really been in an end like that, and you wonder how people like stayed on the feet and stuff like that at the time because it doesn't like just slowly move, does it, across the end of the goal? It's like a proper intense wave back and forth, and you just wonder how people didn't just fall. I mean, maybe they did just fall over all the time. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the only thing I get to that how it could be was like at a festival. I've been to like festivals a few times where I felt like I'm gonna fall over here and everyone's gonna fall on top of me. But like I remember my dad and my granddad and older relatives have said numerous times, like you just get took off your feet, wouldn't you? So like there was no really control whether you could stay on your feet or not because you weren't touching the floor. But yeah, it's mad to watch it. I put one up the other day as well. I think it was I can't remember who scored, but it's like pinging around in the box and then they score Everton and it just goes absolutely mad. It gets cut across and he just sticks his leg out and the crowd is going absolutely mad. It looks amazing.
Yeah,
Limbs, as they say.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Just on the gig one, I remember being at Leeds Festival. This must be about 12 years ago now, and Rage Against the Machine were playing, and we were right at the front, and like there was one of them happened, and everyone just fell over onto the floor. I had like people on top of me, all that sort of stuff. And they stopped the gig, and we're like, "Can everyone just take a step back?" Zach De La Roche, it was like your brothers and sisters at the front of all fallen over, so. Was pretty terrifying, but I'm sure Evertonians would be nice enough to help you up if you did fall over.
Definitely, I think it's. I think we've all probably taken a fall in recent times celebrating a goal. So
yeah,
well, sure.
On your own Twitter account yesterday, you sort of put out the question. If you go back to one game this season or one moment, what would you pick? And you said United for that Calvert-Lewin goal.
Yeah, I think it was just. Probably my most recent memory of being at the game, so I kind of just went back to like when was the last time I went mad. But I think there was a few fellas around me who were struggling to stay upright when that went in, and yeah, just still actually annoyed now. But it was one of those feelings that you don't really get very often, especially we haven't had them very often for a couple of years. But just total shock and then joy and then just think like, how have we done this? And then obviously it just all comes crashing down. But yeah, stuff like that. That's why you go, especially with me dad and stuff like that. I love spending time with him. Don't get to do much, obviously, living on my own now. So going the game and having those moments or should be moments are the reason why you go every week.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure this morning. Thanks very much for taking the time. Any plans for the rest of the
day? No, nothing really. I need to give my house a clean, probably for the third time this week. I'm only on Thursday.
Animal Crossing or the Animal Crossing, like
I've been looking. To be fair, I was looking on Amazon, but I think like delivery is starting to slow down now. I think it's some necessities that are maybe getting prioritized on Prime. So if I order it now and it comes in June, then I might not be up for playing it as much as I am. Probably sit on the Xbox, go for a little walk. I might. Yeah, bump into my girlfriend randomly. We're not allowed to, but take the dog on the walk or something and get a bit of fresh air. But every day feels the same at the moment. So,
absolutely. Well, take care of yourself anyway. Thanks very much for taking the time. I'll hope everybody's enjoyed this latest Brew With A Blue. If you haven't seen the others, go back and check them out as well. We've had Les, Kate, and Mike on this week. On the Blue Room, we had our weekly show that was out on Tuesday on all your usual places. On Blue Room Extra, we've had Subs Weekly. 11s went out last night, the second series of that, the usual cast on that. We've got Kickabout coming today, we've got a stats pack coming today, and we've got Mailbag on Friday as well. Also, we've teamed up with Hot Mic recently, which is effectively a commentary service, a streaming service, And me and Dave are going to be doing a game on Friday. It's going to be the 2004-2005 derby at home to Liverpool, the League Cards of the game. So all the details on that are on Twitter. You can sign up to Hot Mike, you can watch the game, or you can interact about it, we can chat about it. Should be a good laugh for Friday night anyway. Thanks very, very much again to Adam. We'll speak to you again very soon here on the Blue Room.